I'm back and I'm busted. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Drusilla Shay, if you don't know already. Today I am looking busted on purpose. I have a confession. These are my confessions. I'm in desperate need of a trim. When I say desperate,
I feel like these trims just catch up to me so quickly. I did not realize how badly I needed a trim until like yesterday.
I should have just stuck to my trim schedule. I promised myself last year that I was gonna get constant trims so that I can keep up with them. Honestly, my ends feel so good. They feel healthy, and I'm definitely going to upkeep my trims from here on out because I really needed it. Just let the time pass me by. And so here we are today with dry, crusty hair. Anyway, today's video is just gonna be about 5 signs that you can look out for when it's time for a trim. A lot of people ask me, how do you know when it's time to trim? Now, there's no one consistent answer for everyone. Everyone's hair is different. Everyone's need for a trim is gonna be different. I'm just gonna let you know what I look out for, and I'm gonna let you know how often I should get a trim. But before we get started, don't think I'm gonna share the goodies without you taking on your end of the bargain. I just ask that you guys please go ahead and hit that red subscribe button. And while you're at it, you might as well turn on your bell notifications so that you will always be up to date on my newest uploads. All right, guys, let's get started. The first sign that I normally get is when my ends are puffy. For some people it varies. Sometimes their ends might thin out, but for my hair, my ends actually get puffier and puffier, and they actually have less definition. Like when I'm trying to do a braid out or a twist out, I'm gonna put in a clip of when my hair was about to be trimmed last year, and you guys will see that the ends are so much puffier than the rest of my hair. Now those are clearly dead ends, damaged ends. That is definitely one of the signs that I look for. The next sign that I typically look for when it's time for a trim are quote unquote fairy knots. If you look really closely at your ends, if you've experienced it, you realize that the ends have actually knotted themselves. It's so much easier for your hair to break off where that knot is. If I have a knot in my hair and I just like pull a little, it just breaks off. Like, that's it, sis. Like, once you got those knots, it's time to chop. So when I get a whole bunch of knots in my hair, that's how I know. Isova. Honestly, it's gonna be really hard for me to show you guys a knot from my hair right now, but I'm gonna find a picture for you guys and put it up on the screen so that you're familiar with how these knots look. I can just feel them. Like if I'm going down my strands and I feel like a little ball, it's not just like a smooth strand, then I'll know that is a fairy knot. Now the third sign that I look for is when my hair is breaking off way more easily and way more often. So generally when I'm doing like my twist outs or braid outs or whatever, I do it in the sink. Generally when I'm doing my twist outs or braid outs, I do it in the bathroom right in front of the sink, because you know I don't do it in the sink because I couldn't fit in there. But when I start seeing like really short strands in the sink, like really tiny strands, then I know that my hair is breaking off. And generally when I have a whole bunch of fairy knots in my hair is prone to breaking. So when I see all those small strands, then I know it's time for a little chop. The fourth sign that usually tells me, girl, it's time for a trim, is frizziness. When my hair gets frizzy, I'm not talking about only the ends. When it gets frizzy all around, like when it starts getting frizzy around my parting, when my twist outs or braid outs or whatever just do not end up as defined as I would like them to, and they just get really frizzy, then I know that it's time for a trim. Usually when you have frizzy hair, that means that you have a whole bunch of hairs that are like broken off a lot of the times. And so I can definitely tell that when my hair is frizzy, then it's time for a trim. And sometimes also I'll see like in my parting area, it doesn't always have to be in the middle, but even in the sides and stuff like that, no matter where I part it, I'll just see like a lot of flyaways. And I already know that those strands are like broken strands because they're much shorter and they speak to their name. They just fly away. They just start going in all different directions. Like, it's just all over the place. So if you have a whole bunch of frizziness, it's not going to be conducive to the slaying goals. So that means it's time for a trim. Last but not least, if it feels like my hair is generally not growing past a certain point, then I know that it's time for a trim. Now, this may not apply to everyone. A lot of these points that I'm making may not be relatable for everyone, but for me, if I feel like my hair is pretty stagnant, then I know that I need a trim. It's just one of those things that my hair needs as like a TLC maintenance kind of thing. It's part of managing my hair, honestly, like the same way I moisturize my hair all the time, same way I put certain oils in my scalp, the same way I do deep conditioners. Those maintenance things help your hair to grow. And so in the same way, getting trims helps my hair to grow because I'm also getting rid of the dead ends. I'm getting rid of like the frizzy ends. And sometimes too, my hair, when it grows to a certain point and it's constantly touching my clothes and that friction keeps happening, or if I keep my hair out a lot in the cold, then I see almost like a stunt in growth with my hair and I see more frizziness, I see more dryness. And so a lot of the times I know that I should visit my local stylist. Just to round this up, I just want to let you guys know that I do not purposely try to get to a point where my hair is in desperate need of a trim. I should have gotten a professional trim earlier, but what had happened was later last year I was like, okay, I'm gonna get a trim, but I didn't really get a chance to like make an appointment and stuff because it was around the holidays and I had so much going on. So I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna cut my own hair. I just trimmed a few of my ends off and I thought that that was sufficient, but clearly it was not, and this snuck up on me. I don't know why these like dead ends keep sneaking up on me, but my theory is that I am one that always switches up her hairstyles. Like I always have like my next at least 2 hairstyles set. I already know what I'm gonna do. It'll be like a month of one style, then like a few days with my natural hair out, and then I'm off to the next style. So my theory is that because I'm constantly putting my hair into protective styles, I don't really realize when my hair is in need of a trim because my hair is always being put away. What I do need to do is just set a schedule for getting trims, because for me personally, I know that it's smart to get a trim like every 6 months. Now, every person may not need to get a trim every 6 months. Alrighty guys, I hope that this video was helpful for you. If you have any feedback, tips, advice relating to this topic, go ahead and leave that down in the comments box. I want to know what you guys look for when it's time for a trim. Like, what signs do you guys get? Once again, do not forget to subscribe because I'm clocking you, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.